Hi guys, my name is Alexey Lavrenin. Welcome to YouTube channel Senior QA Automation Engineer. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Today I will tell you how to combine mobile and web test suites together in one test framework. We should optimize and make flexible our code for mobile emulators. Now situation is not perfect and we can use only one mobile device. It's inside base UI class. If I want to add more mobile devices, code will become more complicated. First of all, I create second TesNG file for mobile test suite, and first TesNG file will be only for web testing. I refactor names too. One name of XML will be for mobile, another one for web. And I change names of test suite and test cases and values in mobile TesNG. I can check our list of mobile emulators and select some names of mobile devices. I add additional parameter test box. It is parameter for mobile and web values. Browser parameter should be always Chrome without any changes, because we can use emulators only in Chrome. And I add new parameter device name. In this case, we can use many different mobile devices in test cases and test suite. After I duplicate structure of test case and add different mobile devices. In TestNG web, I add new test box parameters too, because we should know we run mobile or web for our test cases. In this case, we can modify our test and add some conditions and use same code for web and for mobile. I just duplicate this parameter for each test case and browser. We return to base UI class where we have different browsers. This should be updated too. First of all, I create specific data types and enums. I can use it when I know exactly values. I call enum test box and give constants web and mobile. We always use uppercase for constants. We mark them as protected because I want to use these enums only in the same package and subclasses. I create enum for browsers too, because I want to switch them in our test. After I create objects for these enums, it should be protected too. I add 3 parameters from our XML. Same 3 variables in input parameter of our methods, and annotation optional as pre-default values for same variables. It means if we don't use TestNG for running tests, Selenium uses these pre-default parameters. If we specify these values in XML, it uses parameters from XML. For browser, default is Chrome. For text box is web. For device name is empty, because we use web version of our test as default. If we don't use default values, we should know what kind test box we use. For that, I create condition that if variable box is web, test switches to enum web. Else, if box is mobile, test switch to enum mobile. I create same if else for conditions for 3 browsers. Object browser and should have different name from our variable browsers. In this case, we can escape code conflict. I rename our enum object to test browser and leave our variable as browser. We have already 3 conditions for 3 browsers and 1 for mobile Chrome. We can add these browsers settings inside switch test box and case web. And add mobile settings inside mobile case. After, add inside web and mobile switches other switch for test browser. All actions in each switch should be inside curly brackets. Switch for test boxes is same brackets for mobile and web, and for browsers it's different. We have duplications of if-else path. Because we already created new modified conditions, we should remove duplications in switches and add case for different enum browsers. Web browsers and mobile are in different test browser switch, but it's same test box switch. You need to add break after each new case. Our previous else for default Chrome browser, we can move to default case and switch. I add new switch for test browser for mobile Chrome. After test box switch for web, we add break too. I add device name parameter in hash map. In this case, we can use any value of this parameter from mobile TesNG XML. I made mistake. Code has duplications of Chrome driver. I remove additional path. In my test, I have condition where I expected mobile Chrome value for parameter browser, but I change it to mobile. Same should be in test. Plus, I use new parameter test box for mobile value. It should be replaced too. Okay, I start running mobile test suite. All tests are passed. Because I don't close browser, I need to do it and clean a lot of cache after automation test. CC Cleaner is one of the best for cleaning all temporary files and cache. It's one of the best tools for automation tester. After I check web test and run TestNG for web. All tests are passed. It means we can use two TestNG XMLs for mobile and web testing now.